How would each of you like to know that you can defend yourself against any person, no matter what their size or strength advantage may be? This is what the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was designed to do. This is how a 160-pound man defeated men nearly twice his size in some of the early Ultimate Fighting Championships. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu emphasizes that with the right technique, no matter how big and how strong the person is, you can submit them or make them unconscious in a matter of seconds using leverages and body position to counter the size and strength disadvantages. I'm going to demonstrate the move known as the rear naked choke today. First I will talk about what the move is and cover why it works. Then I'm actually going to have the move performed with my visual aid, and I will also talk about some of the common mistakes that people make when they're learning this move. You may ask, how am I qualified to demonstrate this? I have trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for about 2 years at Fit for Life in Council Bluffs and Mid-America Martial Arts in Omaha, Nebraska. I have competed in various tournaments across the East Coast and Midwest, including New Jersey, Chicago, and Sioux Falls. And now I am going to talk about how exactly the move, or the rear naked choke, works. The rear naked choke begins from what's known as the rear mount position, which I will demonstrate in a moment. And you reach around and you use your bicep and forearm to place pressure on your opponent's neck. This pressure causes a loss of blood flow because pressure is on the jugular veins. Now this pressure causing the loss of blood flow will inevitably cause, as you know, a loss of consciousness as well. As I mentioned, size and strength do not matter. No man, no matter how big he is or how strong he is, can stop a person if they're applying this move correctly. The blood will not get through the jugular veins, and they will inevitably pass out if they don't tap. Now, I guess let me begin the actual demonstration with a partner. As I mentioned, this move is started from what's known as the rear mount. There are many methods used to establish the rear mount, but for today's demonstration, I am only going to cover the maneuver once we already have the rear mount established. It begins with the legs or hooks inside of my thighs. These act as, these hooks act to, they trap me in place and prevent me from getting away. Now, Caleb, my partner, he can perform the maneuver either with his left or right arm. For the demonstration, we will use the right arm. His first step is to reach around with his right hand and grab my left shoulder. Now from here, he's going to bring his left hand and bring it palm up, and he's going to slide his right hand down his forearm and up onto his bicep. Then he's going to bring his left hand around and behind my head. From this position, I already begin to feel a little bit of pressure. When I instruct Caleb to do so, he will squeeze his elbows down together and drive with his chest and his hips. Go ahead. As you can see, the move works rather quickly. It's designed to cause loss of consciousness in a matter of seconds. Now that we've seen how to perform the move, I would like to talk about some of the common mistakes that people make when they're learning to perform the move. The most common one probably is squeezing just with their arms and forgetting that they need to use their hips and their chest and back to spread their opponent out and get their body behind it. This is what really causes your opponent to submit. Worst case scenario, you'll exhaust yourself trying to finish your opponent and be too tired to continue, have the tables turned, and be unable to defend yourself. Best case scenario, you'll spend all of your energy and maybe you will finish them, but you'll, like I said, have spent all of your energy. Another mistake that people often make is reaching around across the chin, like so, like this, and trying to finish the move from this position. Okay. This usually happens when the opponent anticipates the choke coming and is able to tuck their chin and defend against it in time. There are two ways that we can counter this. The first way is to use our hand as kind of like a blade, and we dig it underneath the chin and in between the neck, try and force that hand in there. Go ahead, Caleb. The second way that we can do this is he can take his left arm and he can place it either across my forehead or probably more effectively under my nose and drive up and back. This pressure will cause me to instinctively lift my head, therefore exposing my neck. Go ahead. And third move, the third mistake that people often make is crossing their feet from this position. This is a natural reaction that people tend to do because it makes them feel more secure, like they have better control of this position. However, by Caleb crossing his feet, he has created a simple way for me to create pressure on his ankle here and possibly break it. I simply take it and I hook it underneath my leg. I take my hips, I drive them forward, and I create a painful submission. So if you really feel like you need to lock your opponent in place, a more effective way to do so is to bring the leg around and tuck it under the other knee pit, and as you can see, he still has me trapped and he's much safer. This position is known as the body triangle. Thank you, Caleb. As you can see, the move is not that complicated, and size difference does not matter. As you can see, Caleb was much smaller than myself. I showed you some common mistakes to look out for if you're practicing this maneuver, and hopefully with a little practice maybe each of you would be able to do as Royce Gracie did and defeat opponents nearly twice his size using Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Thank you.